Are you looking for simplified ways to grow your business? Do you struggle with knowing where to focus your energy for the best return? Or are you loving your business success and looking for ways to stay ahead of the pack through innovation and inspiration? If you've answered yes, keep listening. Hi, I'm Amita from Holistic Vision and the podcast host of Simple Marketing Solutions. As a business owner for the past 15 years, I understand that we wear multiple hats. Often it can feel like they're all at the same time. Occasionally this can lead to feelings of overwhelm and stress, of being reactive instead of proactive. However, when you're equipped with the right business strategies, marketing insights, and mindset tips, it can lead to a sense of true accomplishment, giving you the confidence to continue to grow your skills. Plus, there's real power in the fact that you're creating a lifestyle that you love whilst going out there and helping others. If you're ready for a successful 2023, it starts now. Take action, my friend, and download the free annual planning template for business success today at holisticvision.com.au/annual plan. Hello and welcome to today's episode where I interview Ashley Bradford, who is the founder and CEO of Wealthy and Winning Financial Solutions. Ashley's going to be talking to us about the free resources to avoid self-funding your business. Ashley is a financial educator and wealth management coach. She teaches female business owners how to manage and keep more of their income so they can sustain their business and current lifestyle. Hello and welcome to the episode, Ashley. I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for being here as a guest on the podcast. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty that you're going to be sharing with us today, I thought I'd just take the opportunity for you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Ashley Bradford, and I am the CEO and founder of Wealthy and Winning Financial Solutions. So I'm a financial educator and a money management coach. So I focus specifically on making sure that you're keeping and managing the money that you're making. And I help first generation women entrepreneurs transform the relationship with money. So it's showing you that money and finances aren't intimidating and they're not scary, but instead to be used as a tool to help you fund and create the life that you want.
I love that. And I think that, focusing on women and focusing on our relationship with money, and especially if you are first generation getting into your own business, it can be really daunting because I'm sure that you find this, that us as women in business, we don't always have the resources. We don't know how to go out there to find those resources to help us on our journey with business. And I know from my personal experience working with my clients, they will often feel like they have to do it alone and they have to figure it out themselves. Do you notice that from the financial side of things when you're dealing with clients?
Indeed. So it's like a large majority of people, and myself included, have started their businesses self-funded. So we're using savings, we're using credit cards, and we're going into credit card debt, and we're just doing all the things just because we have this urge to help people and we have this passion, and we're just like, this is the way that we want to express this to the world. This is the way that we want to make an impact. And our instincts are, let's just do it with what I have. Let's not ask for help from anybody. Let's not look at the resources. Let's not check out some grants. Let's not look into if I can get personal loans, private loans, that kind of thing, because we're like, no, we can do it on our own. I don't need help. I'm so used to helping everyone else that I can just do this myself. And it definitely trickles down, because later down the line, when you need the the history, the credit history, or like the proper bank setup for the funding that you would need later, then it is kind of hard to then stop in the middle of your business building to then go back and look at that stuff later.
Mm. So, you talk about us of often using our own financial resources when we're starting business. And you mentioned, grants and other ways that we can tap into finance to support our business, especially in those initial stages. Are there a couple of things that you would recommend for somebody that's starting off or in the early stages of their business to look at first?
Um, if I'm going to be honest, I feel like a lot of times we kind of count out the free resources, but there are several networking groups that are specifically for woman-owned businesses, like women-owned businesses, women business owners, women
Mm,
entrepreneurs, that would be useful to tap into. I know that one that I went through was an actual certification program through Cornell that was free, and it was Women in Entrepreneurship. And through that process, you learned several things of self-paced course. But then at the end, I get grant opportunities emailed to me on a monthly basis from the program director, because it's just like an extension of a network. And there's a Facebook group. There's also one called, I think it's the Dell Women Entrepreneurship Network, that's completely free to join. And just making those connections to then tap into the resources that are available.
mm. So being more aware and actually proactive about going and finding those resources,
Yes.
because they are there, right? It's just that we don't look for them. No, and that's very useful, definitely. Another thing you were talking about earlier before we got on the call was that link between our behavior when it comes to finances, and it may be stemming from generational traumas. Could you go into a bit more of that?
Sure can. So when we're looking at any of the financial choices and behaviors that you're currently making, whether it's in your life or in your business, they're all stemming from past influences, your environment, and things that have previously happened that you're not aware that are affecting your current. So if you have a penchant for, if I'm making all this money and I just need to save all of it, I can't make investments in my business, I can't make investments into myself, I just need to hold on to as much money as I possibly can, because your brain is telling you this, you're not sure when more is coming. More than likely, it stems from you had a parent, a guardian, someone in your environment that said saving was your top priority. That was what you're supposed to do. That was the way you're supposed to live your life. It's just save all your money, or don't spend all your money in one place. Like those kinds of sayings that came up,
Yeah.
honestly, have no idea how much they really affected you. And now you're making decisions based off of people that weren't in your position and aren't aware of what you're trying to do. But you're also unaware that those things are affecting you currently now.
Mm. So, I mean, you say that you might be unaware of that. Then how do we go about rectifying that behavior and those patterns that are generational if we're not aware? Are there signs that we can look out for that may help somebody listening to this?
I know this is what I suggest. And I always
Hmm.
say that if you have something that comes up, so let's just say you have a pattern that always, you get a little bit of money and then you immediately want to spend it. See or tap into why you're doing this. So my question is, so why do I feel like I need to spend this money immediately? And then ask yourself, if the reason is because I don't think that I'm going to get any more, or I don't think that this money is going to stay in my bank account long enough, so I'm going to spend it immediately, then we just need to tell, is this truth or is this a lie? And when you're asking yourself, is it true that any money that I receive doesn't stay for very long, then you have to, like, it's like addressing the pattern head on. So like you have to ask
Mm,
yourself, are you telling yourself the truth? So is what's coming out of your brain a truth or a fact, or a
yes.
truth or a lie?
All right.
So
Yeah.
true that my money doesn't stay in my account for very long? Is it true that no more money is coming into this account? Like, do you have financial issues that are actually stemming from things that are happening in your life? Or is your brain saying that this may happen, or you've seen this happen before, and that's why it's just picking up on previous patterns and previous things that are just there, and that hasn't actually happened to you in your lifetime?
Mm, okay. And that makes sense. And that's a really helpful tip to be able to ask yourself that question and really just get it from that subconscious to that conscious and out verbally to yourself, and ask the question, is this the truth or a lie? And work through it that way. It'd be interesting to see how many are lies that we're telling ourselves, or, not the truth really at the end of the day. An interesting exercise. I will keep that in mind. um, and we're talking about mindset. We're talking about changing something that we've been doing for a long time. Um, and like you said, it's oftentimes that we don't even realize that we're doing it, but that is the pattern that we've been following. How or what would you recommend for people to change their mindset around money to have more of an openness of welcoming more money into their lives? Are there any tips?
Um, I want to say that a lot of times when it comes to the way that you feel about money and whether or not you think that there's an abundance of it out there, or abundance of it that is possible for you to go get or receive, has to do with, have we sat and thought about what we actually want? So a lot of times women will say, well, I just need enough to pay my bills, or I just need enough. I don't need that much. I don't need all these hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever,
Yeah.
because they haven't thought about what they actually want. They're thinking about people around them, or things that they've been told, this is all you need. So I guess my first step in that would be to, if you sat down and thought about the life that you actually want to live, the goals that you actually have for yourself, and then address the money from that. So if you're telling yourself that I want to travel 4 times a year, and I want
Mm,
to live in this type of house, and I want to drive this type of car, and I want to be able to have the free time to volunteer my services to other charities, or whatever your actual goal is, like what you want, if the amount of money that you're telling yourself that you need doesn't match the lifestyle
yeah.
that you actually want, then we start there. We start where the disconnect is,
Yeah.
because like you can't say that these desires are just coming out of nowhere. Like, you want these things. And then the next step would be to, okay, if I know that this cost this amount of money, it's like
Mm,
making the money less of like an abstract object. It's a
mm,
thing. It's a tool. Like, money is just a
yeah.
thing that you use to fund the life that you want to have. And it's not
Yes.
about, oh, I just don't need that much, or I need to, or I want too much. It's define the life that you want, and then find the number that matches that life, and then use
Mm,
that to fund the life that you want. That's it. Like, it's not, I guess it's like, I guess so the overarching topic would be to stop thinking about money as an abstract thing that just comes and goes when it pleases. It is a tool.
mm,
It is something
mm.
that it comes to you for you to use it, and for it to flow back into the economy, and for you to make it again, and for it to flow back into the economy. It's just like a cycle. And
Yes.
it's that's what it's used for. And when you start thinking about it like it's an abstract thing, and it's like, I can never get this much, because it feels so much. It's because you're
Yeah.
looking at not the sense of this is what I need to make the life happen that I want to happen.
Mm. And, you say that and you talk about the abstractness that we associate with money as well. And I hear that pattern. I've felt that myself. And I hear that from my clients so often. And the way that you put that together, that it is a tool and that it is part of a cycle, it it helps to, I think, take out that emotional aspect of the money picture as well. A lot of us find that a woman especially become so emotionally attached to this concept of money, and we don't see that it is just a cycle, it is a tool, and it's going to get us to where we need to go.
Fine. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. So Ashley, you've given us a lot already to think about and to start processing and actually being able to take action on what we're thinking and what comes out of our mind into our consciousness, and that relationship with money. When it comes to teaching business owners how to manage their money better, what would you say when people come to you and they're like, I just want to be better with my money. I want to feel like I'm more in control and not be so scared when it comes to money?
I guess to start would be to look at your foundations as a business owner. Just make sure that you're just looking at what you've already built. Do we have systems in place for the money that we currently have coming in? Do we have our separate bank accounts? Are we properly routing our money? Are we paying ourselves? As a service-based entrepreneur, sometimes we get into the gray area when it comes to paying ourselves. Like, we need to make sure that that is first and foremost taken care of, and it's taken care of in a way that when it comes to, the government and taxes and all that stuff, that it's clearly portioned out. And then I guess the next thing would just be to make sure that we're focusing on things that not only make us more money, but just how is that money leaving? So most of the time people look at, oh, I just need to bring more money in, but maybe we should take a step back, look at, if do we have any leaks in our current financial cash flow? Are you paying for things that you maybe don't need to pay for? Or are you paying for people that you may not need to pay for? Like, addressing that cash flow. So things that are going out as well as money that's coming in. Addressing maybe auditing your team, looking, if you have a team, auditing your team members, making sure that they're providing that ROI that you initially thought that they were. Making sure that you're auditing your systems to make sure that they're providing an ROI that makes sense for your business at the stage that it's in. And then looking at making sure that your profit is being looked at as not the same thing as how much money you have in the bank. So it's like, you're looking at, oh, I have this much money in my account, so I should be fine. And it's like making sure that you're differentiating between your bank account balance, your cash flow, and your profit, just when you're addressing the certain the KPIs in your business.
That's so insightful, Ashley. Really, when you start to break it down, and the things that you talked about there, when we need to look at what's not only what's coming in, but what's going out, and assessing and reassessing on a regular basis, are these tools that I've got in place, are these people that I'm using to provide a service to me, are they still providing that return on my investment? And if not, is there a way to address it, or do I need to let that go? I know that there's so many times where, we all come to this point where we think, we need more tools. We need to sign up for this. We need to buy this. We need this for our business to run better. And we end up with, this huge amount of different things that we generally never use. So that's a very useful process to go through. And I think, tying into the time of the year as well, where things are changing, things are, rounding up for the end of the year and starting for a new year. It's the perfect time, isn't it, for starting to work on all of that?
Indeed, especially like end of the year audits. I suggest twice a year audits, but end of the year is going into the new year. It's that time where everyone feels the need to make more investments. It's like a psychological thing. It's like I need to just become brand new and do new things. And I need to make more investments into my business, or I need to make more investments in our personal development. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as those are serving the purpose that you intend for them to serve when you sign up or when you take on that project. So
yeah, absolutely. And before we go, Ashley, was there any last piece of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience?
Let's see. I probably would say, if we're talking to women-owned service-based business owners, or just women-owned businesses in general, it's making sure that we're, like I guess you say, checking your emotions at the door. It's like we're keeping that emotional level under control when it comes to just making certain financial strategic decisions in your business. Understanding that if you do an audit and your team member or this thing is not working, being able to say that, yes, this was originally working and it's maybe not working anymore. I need to have a conversation with them. Being able to have those tough conversations, being able to have them with yourself when it comes to, have I been making the right decisions when it comes to this investment into my business? Like, do I need to just take a quick look and say, is this decision coming from what I need right now in this time? Or is it being influenced by something that I heard, something that somebody told me, something else that is not what is serving me right now? So I say that.
Thank you. That's a great point to leave us on. Thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate your time today and all the generous information and strategies that you've shared with us around finances for business. And I know that I'm going to take a lot of that on board myself, and I'm sure that all of our audience will as well. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for listening today. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. I hope you find value from today's episode. And remember, if you've got friends and colleagues looking for inspiration as they grow their business, share this podcast with them. Follow me on Instagram at Holistic Vision Consultancy, or check out my website, holisticvision.com.au. Until next week, to your success, my friend.